Hello everybody, this is BScat100 and welcome back to some more The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. In the previous episode, we had defeated Demise again, or the imprisoned again, and opened the gate of time to come back here to the Palace of Hylia, Temple of Hylia. This episode, we are going to finally see Zelda, what we have come all this way for. You stand in the past, ages before your place in time. Here, the goddess Hylia has only just sealed away Demise. You will have many questions, but for now you must proceed through the great doors at the back of the room. It is there that the person you've risked your life and blood to defend waits for you. You've come so far, Beastcat. I'm glad you made it. I imagine Impa filled you in on everything. We've traveled very far from home, to the distant past. In this era, the wounds inflicted on the land during the battle between the goddess and the Demon King, known as Demise, have not yet healed. All the fairy tales about that war we heard growing up in Skyloft, incredible as it may seem, they appear to be all too real. I think it's time you learn the whole story. Let me try to explain. The old gods created a supreme power that gave anyone who possessed it the ability to shape reality and fulfill any desire. They called it the Triforce. In his thirst to make the world his own, Demise readied a massive army of monsters for war. He sought to take the Triforce for himself. The goddess feared for her people. She used her power to send both them and the Triforce into the sky on a slice of earth she cut away from the land. This floating rock became the new home to our people. In time, it became known as the Triforce. After a long and fierce battle, the goddess Hylia succeeded in sealing away Demise. However, soon after the Demon King was imprisoned, it became clear that the seal would not hold long against his fearsome power. Hylia had suffered grave injuries in her battle with the Demon King. She knew if she broke free again, there would be no stopping him. And if the Demon King were to free himself, it would mean the end of the world for all beings of this land. In order to put an end to the Demon King, Hylia devised two separate plans and put them both into motion. First, she created Fi. She made the spirit that resides in your sword to serve a single purpose, to assist her chosen hero on his mission. Her second plan was to abandon her divine form and transfer her soul into the body of a mortal. She made this very sacrifice, as you have likely guessed, so that the supreme power created by the old gods could one day be used. For while the supreme power of the Triforce was created by all gods, all of its power could not be wielded by one. Knowing this power was her last and only hope, the goddess gave up her divine powers and her immortal form. You've probably figured it out by now, haven't you, Beastcat? You are the chosen hero, and I, Zelda, am the goddess reborn as mortal. The day of the ceremony, Girham's tornado tossed me out of the sky and down to the world below. I was nearly captured by the demonic forces, but I was rescued at the last minute by the old woman who lived in the sealed grounds. I had no memory at all of my existence as Hylia, but she explained it to me. She helped me remember who I was, and what I had to do. I set out to pray at the goddess statues located in each temple across the land. Each statue stirred up memories within me. After I visited them all, Impa, an agent of the goddess, led me here to the past. All of this is part of that same great effort to prevent the revival of demise. Stripped of his true physical form by the seal that binds him, he takes the shape of an abomination. But even in his hideous state, he's more than capable of devouring this land if we allow him to do what he desires. We must stop him from freeing himself from the seal that imprisons him, at any cost. That's why I intend to remain here in this time and place, to sustain the seal as best I can. As long as I continue this vigil, we may be able to prevent the Demon King from fully reviving in our own time. I must maintain the seals that Hylia, or rather that I, created so long ago, and keep it strong for as long as I'm able. With the memories of my former life returning to me, I can see now that this is my purpose. Beascat. The goddess created Fee and the great blade she's part of for very specific reasons. For the task of standing against Demise in the monstrous form he now assumes rests solely on your shoulders. Back in our own time, you've already driven him back into his prison twice now. I can't thank you enough for that, Beascat. During your long journey, you've grown so much. You learned wisdom from solving devious puzzles and traps. You've gained power by honing and tempering both yourself and your sword. And by overcoming the trials set before you by the goddess, you've found true courage. Now that those qualities reside within you, you are worthy of wielding the power the old gods left behind for our kind. You can claim the Triforce. Valiant hero, you have endured many hardships and journeyed far in your quest to reach this place. Along your travels you have found wisdom, power, and courage, and for this I shall bless your sword with the goddess's power. May it give you and your sword the strength to drive back the abomination that threatens this land. The mark you see upon the back of your hand is proof that you are the hero of legend, and that within you dwells a sacred power. It is the mark of the Triforce. Stand now, Beascat. Draw your sword. The goddess has blessed your blade, and now the Master Sword has at last achieved its ultimate form. This sword is now imbued with the mythical power to drive back demons, and only Beascat may wield it. Beascat, before I say another word, I feel like I owe you an apology. You see, the mark of the Triforce on your hand is a symbol of the greatest power in this world. If you could obtain the actual Triforce, then we would have the power to vanquish Demise once and for all. The problem is, among the countless souls in this world, only a select few, those with an unbreakable spirit, can wield its might. It's impossible to know the true reason why the old gods created the Triforce, but I have a theory of my own. The gods created the Triforce, yet they specifically designed it so that their own kind could never use its power. Somehow, I think that may have been their way of giving hope to all mortals of this land. Which brings us back to you. To face Demise and give the land hope, the goddess Hylia needed someone with an unbreakable spirit. That someone is you, Beascat. But spirit alone wasn't enough. You had to overcome many trials and awaken the hero within yourself so that you could wield that supreme power. And so Hylia, I knew that if it meant saving Zelda, you would throw yourself headfirst into any danger, without even a moment's doubt. I used you. I can't begin to tell you how sorry I am for pulling you into all of this, Beascat. But you have to understand, this is a war, and the fate of the land hangs in the balance. I need your strength to tip the scales in our favor. All that may be well intended and true, but it doesn't mean it's right, and it doesn't excuse my actions. But I'm prepared to pay the price for what I've done. To ensure that the seal holds, I will remain here in this time, deep in sleep for thousands of years. Beascat, I can't say it enough. I'm so sorry for the way I had to involve you in this. But until my memory of things before our lifetime returned to me, I had no idea we were fated to carry such a heavy destiny. Before all this, I was happy just spending my days hanging around with you in Skyward. I wanted that feeling to last forever. While it's true that I'm highly reborn, I'm still my father's daughter and your friend. I'm still your Zelda. When Demise is finally gone, there will be no more need for the seal that binds him, and then I'll be able to wake up. So I'm going to ask you a favor, Sleepyhead. Ever since we were kids, I've always been the one to wake you up when you slept in. But this time, when all of this is over, will you come to wake me up? I promise. I see you said goodbye. Now you must keep the promise you made to her. You must find the Triforce. Return to your time. There is work to be done there. Do not fear for Zelda. I will watch over her here. Now, go fulfill your destiny. It's a lot to take in. We have to do this for her, so we can wake her up back in her own time. So you've returned. Then you know everything. On the other side of that gate, Zelda waits, suspended and asleep without end. But do not despair, for she is still alive and well. True to legend, the Triforce is one of the things with the power to vanquish Demise, though it is thought to have been hidden within Skylost by the goddess. Sadly, that is all we know of where it rests. All other clues to its whereabouts have been lost to the ages. Beascats, you have likely come to the same conclusion, but I will spell it out just in case. The key to finding the Triforce must be in Skyloft. Go now, Beascat. Find the Triforce. Whoa there, hold up. Beascat, there's something I gotta tell you. So, Zelda, how's she holding up? Was she okay when you saw her? Actually, that's terrible. It's gotta be hard for the poor girl. But you're going to do something about this mess, right? Scat, I've made up my mind. I'm not going back. I'm staying right here with Granny. Don't look so bummed out. Do I look sad? Nah, I'm doing what I want to do. I don't know how to explain it. I got this feeling in my belly that there's work to do here. Someone's gotta watch that big ugly monster, and someone's gotta make sure Granny's doing alright. It ain't as action-packed as what you're doing, but maybe this is my destiny, you know what I mean? Besides, it's not so bad here. Living up in the sky was okay, I guess, but don't you just love the way it smells down here? What? That's not weird to say. Check it out. Zelda and Granny have brought life back to the land here. I bet even the weakest sapling could grow into one beast of a tree in soil like this. It'd brighten up this place a little too. I mean, sure, it'd take a few years for it to grow, but as far as I'm concerned, I got nothing but time. It's weird to say out loud, but that's how I feel right now. So, yeah, you know. When you get back to Skyloft, do me a favor and let people know I'm doing okay down here. Calling in Stritch might get a little emotional since they looked up to me, but you can tell them I'm happy, okay? Thanks. This, we now know what we gotta do. And, who do we go to when we don't know anything? Or we don't know anything about what we need to do next? Well, our best bet is probably Headmaster Gipora. No, I don't want to save. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not talking much. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Not yet, anywhere. Actually, no. Okay. Oh, it's right next door.
Hey!
Hey! Ah, hello, Beastcat. Have you heard anything more about my daughter? What is it? If you know anything at all, I urge you to share it with me. You want to tell me, but you can't. I understand. I'm sure you have good reason for keeping quiet. Beastcat, I've been doing some thinking since we last spoke. You've had this destiny thrust upon you without warning, or choice for that matter, but I wish to help you as best I can. I'm getting older, and I lack the vigor of youth, but even old men have ways of being useful too. I wish to share as much of my knowledge of you with you as I can. If you have any question about Skyloft or its history, I will be able to glad to tell you all that I know. Actually, what do I know of the Triforce? Beastcat, where did you hear that word? It's true that the ancient texts make several mentions of the Triforce within their pages. Unfortunately, the actual location of the Triforce isn't illuminated in any of those tomes. Its whereabouts are lost to history. Sorry, it shames me to say it, but my knowledge is of little use on this subject. Wow. Thanks for the help. Beast, just a moment. Though, there is one whose vast knowledge may be of use. Surely you're familiar with Levias, the great sky spirit who has guarded our realm for ages. Levias has served as the protector of our skies for a long time, and his knowledge of our world is encyclopedic, to put it mildly. If anyone in the entirety of Skyloft and beyond were to know about the Triforce, it would be him. Yes, I fear that might be your next question about that. I imagine in your travels you've taken notice of the tremendous thunderhead that suddenly appeared in our skies. Recently I've heard rumors suggesting that Levias is trapped inside that massive cloud. I asked Instructor Owlin to look into this troubling cloud in order to determine if there's any truth to these rumors. I had meant to inquire about his findings earlier, but completely forgot about it after Zelda went missing. Instructor Owlin can fill me in on the details later, but why don't you go speak with him yourself and see what his investigation has revealed. Alright. We shall go and do that. Right now. Owlin! Ah, he's yet. How goes your search for Zelda? Have you found her yet? What? Levias. Ah, so you've been talking to the headmaster, I take it. If I'm correct, Levias is the one inside the Thunderhead, but that's not exactly the Levias we all know. That's a monster. It certainly looks like Levias, but the last time I approached him, he came rushing at me, and his eyes, they were full of malice. People change, or old wizened creatures change, rather. Perhaps it's more than that. He is possessed by something. That's how it felt to me. What? You want to talk to Levias? That's impossible. I don't think Levias is capable of listening. Not in the current state, no. And if you were to get close enough to talk to him, it would likely end with you getting brushed aside and sent flying to your death in a sea of clouds. What? You're still planning on going? I see. It is because you need to find Zelda. I understand. I get the feeling nothing I could say would talk you out of it. Hey, I have an idea. Come with me.
Hey!
Levias is inside the Thunderhead. He's been acting so strangely, like something has possessed him. If we can somehow free him from whatever that has a hold of him, there's a chance he will return to his senses. Listen well, Beastcat, because I'm about to teach you a very powerful bird riding technique. It's called the Spiral Charge. Using the Spiral Charge, you can rid Levias of the blight that has a hold on him. The technique is quite easy to perform. All you have to do is press A. However, the acceleration effect lasts longer than any attack move you've used so far. Maintaining stable flight can be tricky. This is a technique that only senior Knight Academy students who have mastered high-level flight skills are allowed to perform. It is still a bit early for you, but this is an extraordinary circumstance, so I'll make an exception this time. However, I will test you. First, dive off this platform and call for your bird.
Hey!
Beastcat, where are you headed? Dive off the platform and call your Loftwing. Well, it seems that we can't get out of it, so I'm gonna end it off here for today. It wasn't a lot of action, a lot of talking. We got a lot of information, though. But we have to do this for Zelda. There's no turning back now. So, in the next episode of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, we are going to go and learn the Spiral Charge technique and try to free Levias of what is plaguing him. I will see you guys later.